Welcome back to Nature Moment. Can you imagine a place that people only dare to look at from afar, where hardly anyone has the courage to set foot? On the land of the Lozi people, bolts of lightning strike straight down onto the warm earth, shrouded in a mystical layer of mist. The most spectacular migration in Africa is happening right now, but very few people have the chance to witness it firsthand. Tens of thousands of blue wildebeests are moving forward, traveling as far as 155 miles, leaving behind the sun-scorched arid land where they've spent the past 6 months. This is the final migration. A flight from the exhaustion and depletion of the land. The herds of antelope and zebras pick up speed not just to reach the promise of fresh green grass, but also to escape the packs of hyenas, hot on their heels, ferocious and ruthless predators that show no mercy. Let's embark on this challenging and demanding journey together. But first, let us know where you're watching from in the comments below. Connecting with you is truly wonderful. And now we invite you to embark on the final migration, a journey across Africa's forgotten wilderness. The sweltering heat spread everywhere, and the scorching sunlight made the air feel suffocating, as if it were about to catch fire. More than 20 years ago, the Liuwa plain was almost lifeless due to rampant poaching by humans. The herds of blue wildebeest, which once numbered as many as 60,000, have now dropped to less than half that number. The Cape buffalo population has declined sharply, with fewer than 50 individuals remaining. The pride of lions was on the brink of extinction, with only Lady Liuwa left to wander alone in silence. But thanks to bold and persistent conservation efforts, nature here has begun to recover in a remarkable way. During the dry season, when the temperature swings more than 54 degrees Fahrenheit between day and night, a few scattered herds of antelope cautiously graze around the scarce remaining water holes. Lone lions move quietly, their eyes shining with intense focus, ready to hunt in the thick grass where every breeze carries a sense of stillness and tension. Accompanying them were herds of plains zebras, and about 700 red lechwe antelopes. The migration of the antelopes attracts about 350 spotted hyenas, dominant predators that relentlessly follow in their wake. African wild dogs move silently, communicating only through glances and synchronized footsteps before spreading out to surround the weaker animals that have fallen behind. During this spectacular migration, the Liuwa plain transforms into a survival maze with no clear way out, where staying alive becomes the top priority. With an area of over 270 square miles, the Liuwa Plain is an immense open expanse unlike anything you've ever seen. There are no majestic mountains, no dense forests, just endless grasslands stretching out as flat and calm as a sheet of paper, where the horizon seamlessly blends earth and sky without a single obstruction. Clashes and life-or-death races are unfolding quietly, each footstep pounding the ground with a fierce will to survive and overcome the harshest challenges of nature. In that wild landscape, the migration is not just a journey in search of life, but also a symbol of resilience, a testament to the revival of nature in the vast heart of Africa. Liuwa, a simple name that embodies an entire world of untouched nature, means plain in the Lozi language. No words can fully capture the beauty and significance of this place like its name does. Since 2003, the Liuwa Reserve has been managed by African Parks in partnership with the Zambian government and the Lozi community under modern scientific oversight and protection. Liuwa has become a vibrant living laboratory for community-based conservation projects where nature lovers can come to immerse themselves in the wilderness in its most pristine state. The origin of this land can be traced back to ancient alluvial deposits left by the old rivers of the Zambezi system. Every rainy season, the water rises and then recedes, leaving behind fertile land and temporary lakes known as floodpans. These nameless, short-lived bodies of water play a vital role in the ecological rhythms of the region. The recurring floods combined with the flat terrain have shaped Liuwa into a seasonal wetland, a place where life must constantly move, adapt, and patiently wait for opportunities to survive. The climate in Liuwa is strongly influenced by the tropical monsoon near the equator, with the rainy season lasting from November to April and an average annual rainfall of about 38 inches. Thunderstorms often bring strong winds of up to over 40 miles per hour, but they rarely cause significant damage to the landscape. In contrast, the harsh dry season sees daytime temperatures soar above 95 degrees Fahrenheit, while at night they can drop sharply to below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, resulting in extreme temperature fluctuations. Even so, Liuwa endures with remarkable vitality, a living ecological tapestry where challenges and resilience are deeply intertwined. More than 50 species of mammals have made Liuwa their home, and the skies above are home to over 357 species of birds. Waterbirds are especially dominant during the peak flood season when the plains transform into vast wetlands. In contrast, when the dry season arrives, it becomes a fight for survival. The land cracks open, dry winds sweep away withered vegetation, and Liuwa transforms into its harshest landscape, a battlefield where scavengers and other wildlife struggle to survive. The dry season in Liuwa arrives as an uncompromising warning. The puddles have dried up, the plains are scorching under the blazing sun, and all life is forced to gather around the few remaining sources of water. With temperature differences reaching nearly 54 degrees Fahrenheit between day and night, this is the toughest challenge for every living creature here. When water becomes scarce, the distribution patterns of species begin to change. Animal populations gather closer together, ecological interactions become more intense, and the balance of the ecosystem becomes more fragile than ever. Under the blazing sunlight, the green meadows gradually turn into a grayish green of drought, a vivid portrait of nature's resilience in the endless cycle of life. As the seasons change, herds of wildebeest awaken and prepare for their arduous journey across the vast plains. Their journey isn't a fixed straight line, but rather a complex seasonal cycle, one not drawn on paper, but etched deeply into their instincts and collective memory. Each year, as the rains subside and the sky clears the parched fields in the north and northeast of the park, stretch out before your eyes. The herds of wildebeest leave these dry lands and move toward the Mushangashi floodplains, where patches of green grass and rare pools of water still remain. As food becomes increasingly scarce, they are forced to adapt to a new diet. Normally, wildebeests prefer short grasses during the dry season, but now they have to nibble on low-growing, less nutritious plants and even withered leaves. This isn't the ideal choice, but it's a matter of survival in this harsh struggle to stay alive. The antelope herd has become increasingly cautious, reducing their daytime activity to conserve energy. Instead, they gather near puddles in the early morning and late afternoon, the rare cool moments that help them survive. The image of the wildebeest is not only a symbol of survival, but also tells the story of its remarkable ability to endure and overcome harsh natural conditions. With their large build and broad muscular chest, they are born to endure long journeys. Their fur, which ranges from silvery grey to brown, helps them blend into the grasslands while also reflecting the harsh sunlight. The tail, which resembles that of a horse along with the long mane, is not only a distinguishing feature, but also serves as a means of communication within the herd. The wildebeest has a complex communication system that helps maintain order in its constantly changing environment. The deep, resonant call of the male can carry for up to 1.2 miles, serving as an important means of warning and communication. In addition to sound, they also communicate information through scent glands on their feet, combined with traces of urine and feces to mark territory and strengthen social bonds within the herd. Wildebeests move not only in search of food, but also because their survival depends heavily on staying united and sticking close together. They live in large groups, forming a rapid response network in which each individual observes, reacts, and coordinates movement based on signals from those around them. Scientists call this phenomenon swarm intelligence, a natural mechanism that helps antelopes cope with danger and overcome challenges as a sharp, perfectly coordinated unit. Amidst the sweltering, dusty days, the sight of a herd of wildebeest moving across the cracked grasslands has become a powerful symbol of resilience and perseverance. Accompanying them on this journey are iconic creatures of the grasslands, plains, zebras, the most common zebra species found on the African savannas. Their presence not only adds to the region's biodiversity, but also creates a vibrant picture of survival in the wild grassland ecosystem. On the vast plains of Africa, where endless grasslands stretch from Ethiopia to Namibia and South Africa, zebras have become an iconic symbol of the sun-drenched, windswept savanna. Their most distinctive feature is the black and white stripes on their bodies, with each individual displaying a unique pattern, much like an unrepeatable fingerprint. These stripes not only captivate countless people, but have also been thoroughly studied by scientists who hypothesize that they may help regulate body temperature by transferring heat between the light and dark areas. At the same time, the stripes make it harder for blood-sucking insects to spot their prey due to the blurred black and white pattern. On the Zambian plains, zebra groups known as harms typically consist of a dominant male, several females, and their offspring forming a small, stable community that reflects the species' distinctive social structure across the African grasslands. During the harsh, dry season, these herds of zebras are constantly on the move, traveling hundreds of miles in search of water and the last patches of fresh green grass. Recent studies have found that some herds of zebras travel as far as 680 miles each year, passing through many critical stopover points, such as underground water sources or temporary floodplains created by early season rains, a journey that is both perilous and vital for their survival. When confronted by a predator, zebras rely not only on their exceptional speed, but also on their remarkable collective defense tactics. As soon as one animal senses danger and runs away, the herd instinct immediately prompts the other members to react in the same way, creating a domino effect, a strategy that increases their chances of escaping from deadly predators. With their powerful legs, they can reach speeds of up to 40 miles per hour, outrunning even the most intense pursuit. When cornered, a powerful double kick from its hind legs is not only a decisive weapon that can injure its enemy, but also the last glimmer of hope to escape the lion's sharp teeth, especially a fatal bite to the neck. However, the ecological balance between predators and prey was once severely disrupted. By the end of the 20th century, lions had almost completely disappeared from the Zambian savanna, leaving silent gaps in the ecosystem. When only the lone lioness named Lady Liuwa remained standing in the vast grasslands, she became a silent symbol of the irreplaceable losses suffered by this ecosystem. But from that solitary figure, a new generation of lions began to return, restoring identity and vitality to the grasslands that had long been neglected. Among those lions, there was one named Bon Jovi, whose thick mane resembled that of the legendary rock singer John Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi rose valiantly like a young king, reclaiming an abandoned land, reigniting the triumphant hunting anthem that echoed through the tall grass. Although Bon Jovi was later relocated to Kafue National Park to ensure the safety of the community, his story continues to inspire hope for the revival of nature and the vibrant, unending cycle of life on the African savanna. Every step Bon Jovi takes reminds us of the strength and resilience of nature, always finding a way to revive itself no matter how many ups and downs it goes through. The impressive return of lions to this land has not only drawn attention, but also revived a vibrant tale of wilderness. Lions, with their unique social structure, live in groups called prides, which typically consist of 1 or 2 adult males, several related females, and their offspring. From vast grasslands to arid forests, life in the wild is an intense battle of speed, intelligence, and strength. The return of the lions not only revives a balanced ecosystem, but also reminds us of the power and subtlety of nature in this land. From a place once devoid of roaring sounds, the echoes of revival now resound. This is how nature teaches us about resilience and hope. The lion is not only a symbol of strength, but also a testament to the ability to overcome despair in an ecosystem that is gradually coming back to life. If you're also captivated by the majestic beauty of lions, leave the number 1 in the comments so Nature Moment knows you're joining us on this incredible journey. And don't forget to hit like to support us in continuing to share touching stories from the wild. The dry season arrives, and as visibility improves, the swift movements and sharp reflexes of the tsessebe antelope help it evade countless dangerous attacks. Mainly inhabiting vast grasslands, sparsely wooded savannas and seasonal wetlands, the tsessebe is widely distributed from Angola to Zambia, Botswana, and Namibia. On these prairie fields, they are one of the most important native antelope species, playing an essential role in maintaining ecological balance. When the dry months cause ponds and lakes to gradually dry up, they move to areas that still have lush green vegetation, often in low-lying places near marshes or in spots where grass is starting to grow back after seasonal fires. Short-term migrations, which occur in cycles based on the seasons and available resources, help them adapt effectively without having to leave their primary habitat. Socially, tsessebe antelopes live in small herds of 6 to 20 individuals, usually led by a dominant male. During mating season, territorial defense behavior becomes especially intense. The males choose elevated spots such as anthills to observe and protect the group of females, while also establishing separate mating territories and fiercely defending them against other rivals. This is also the time when brief but intense clashes with horns take place. Outside of the breeding season, herds often merge into larger groups or join blue wildebeest herds to enhance collective defense. Their diet mainly consists of fresh, tender grasses, but when these become scarce during the dry season, they switch to other types of plants with lower nutritional value and will even eat dry grass when there are no other options available. The movement and grazing behavior of these animals not only helps redistribute organic matter through their droppings, but also creates open spaces for new seedlings to grow. The tsessebe antelope is not only a herbivore but also an important prey for several skilled predators. One of the few predators that can match their incredible speed is the cheetah. On the cracked earth, the slender paw prints of a leopard are pressed into the fine dust, a rare sign of one of the most solitary hunters on the Liuwa Plains grasslands. Faced with drought and increasingly fierce competition, the life of a cheetah is a thrilling journey of survival, where speed combined with sophisticated tactics creates a true art of hunting at its finest. The cheetah is known as the fastest land animal in the world. They can reach speeds of up to 65 miles per hour in just a few seconds, accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3 seconds faster than many modern sports cars. The body structure of the jaguar reflects an exceptionally sophisticated evolution. Its long, flexible spine acts like a spring, allowing it to extend its stride. This is a vivid testament to nature's remarkable adaptability, where biological excellence has been refined over thousands of years to create warriors that have become symbols of speed and precision on the vast grasslands. And in the struggle for survival, these rivals not only compete for food, but also help maintain ecological balance, ensuring that open ecosystems remain stable and continue to thrive. Every stride of the cheetah embodies a flawless transformation crafted by nature. Its slender legs function like precise levers, boosting the power of every burst of speed. In particular, the claws can partially retract, much like the spikes on a sprinter's shoes, providing excellent grip when cornering or accelerating. However, their incredible strength and speed are a double-edged sword. Each hunt usually lasts less than a minute and rarely covers more than 1,000 feet, because when they run at such high speeds, their body temperature rises rapidly, forcing cheetahs to rest for a long time to recover their energy. They are usually most active in the early morning and late afternoon, taking advantage of the cooler hours to hunt while avoiding larger predators such as lions and spotted hyenas. Unlike many other carnivores, cheetahs almost never eat carrion and very rarely steal prey from others. They rely entirely on their sophisticated hunting skills for survival, as even a single missed pounce could mean starvation. In the world of big cats, cheetahs have a very unique and distinctive social structure. Females usually live alone and only stay with their offspring until the young are old enough to be independent. Meanwhile, the males usually form small groups, typically 2 or 3 brothers, known as coalitions. This structure not only gives them collective strength to defend and protect their territory, but also increases their chances of encountering females during the mating season. Even more mysteriously, cheetahs cannot roar like lions or leopards because they lack the 2-part laryngeal structure needed to produce those deep, resonant sounds. Instead, they communicate with soft purrs, high-pitched chirps, or short hisses, strange yet gentle sounds that reflect their ghostly silent presence in the wild. As of 2024, it is estimated that there are only about 18 adult cheetahs remaining in the Liuwa Plains savanna. A modest number, but one that is extremely valuable for the survival of the species. Worldwide, the population of adult cheetahs in the wild has dropped to about 6,500 individuals, mainly concentrated in Namibia, Botswana, and a few reserves in eastern and southern Africa. Efforts at Liuwa to connect this reserve with surrounding ecosystems, such as the region in eastern Angola, are opening up new hopes. These initiatives help expand ecological corridors and enable individuals from isolated populations to interbreed, preserving valuable genetic diversity. Conserving cheetahs is not just about maintaining their population numbers. It's also about preserving genetic integrity, a key factor that determines their ability to adapt and withstand diseases and climate change in the future. If you love cheetahs, leave a comment or any emoji to let Nature Moment know that you're still following along with the wild. And don't forget to hit like to help spread this inspiring message. In contrast to cheetahs, African wild dogs are renowned as one of the most socially organized carnivores in the wild. Each individual of this species bears its own unique patterns like a vibrant palette, while also demonstrating a strong sense of unity and a clear division of roles within the group. The unique coat of the African wild dog resembles a vibrant oil painting with patches of black light, yellow, brown, and white intricately interwoven. Each of these patterns is not only a unique personal trait, but also serves as a visual map, helping them identify one another and maintain unity within the herd while hunting across vast open plains. Their large, rounded ears not only allow them to pick up distant movements with incredible sensitivity, but also help regulate their body temperature, a major advantage in the harsh heat of the Liuwa plains, where the blazing sun beats down relentlessly. The social structure of African wild dogs is highly organized, centered around an alpha pair, the strongest and only breeding couple in the pack. The whole group works together to care for the young and support one another, creating a close-knit and constantly supportive community system. It is this cooperation that has made African wild dogs one of the most effective hunting groups in Africa, with a success rate of 70 to 90%. The hunt unfolds like a meticulously orchestrated battle, with each animal taking on a distinct role: the pursuer, the flanker, and the one who blocks the prey's escape route. As the target begins to tire, after several minutes of relentless pursuit, each member of the pack gradually closes in, blocking every escape route and skillfully distracting the prey, making it nearly impossible for the victim to get away. Even the most agile prey can't escape the hunting tactics of African wild dogs, especially when the chase takes place across open landscapes like the Liuwa plain. However, relationships within the pack are not limited to just hunting. Sharing food and caring for individuals who are weak, elderly, or injured is the clearest evidence of the affection and unconditional support among members. That is the solid foundation that creates a resilient social system where survival depends not only on individual strength, but also on the unity and self-sacrifice among each member of the group. The African wild dog had once completely disappeared from this area due to hunting and habitat loss, seemingly becoming nothing more than a ghost from the past. But in 2022, with support from African national parks and the Predator Conservation Program in Zambia, a group of 11 individuals was reintroduced into the wild. The reintegration process has exceeded expectations, as the pack quickly established a new territory suited to local prey and successfully reproduced, marking a significant milestone in efforts to restore a species that had once been wiped out from this area. Their growing presence is a wonderful gift from nature to those who cherish and protect the pristine wilderness of the Liuwa Plains. In the still dry season sky, a predator silently observes from hundreds of feet above. That creature possesses an unparalleled majesty while exuding an air of aloofness. It is the martial eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom, soaring across the African sky. The image of the eagle is not only a testament to the fierce vitality of life in the wild, but also serves as a reminder of the inseparable connection among species, where each creature is both independent and intertwined in the relentless cycle of survival in nature. Under the vast, clear blue sky of the dry season, the martial eagle's wings spanning more than 8 feet glide effortlessly, never in a hurry. It seems that the vast expanse is simply a familiar backdrop for its hunting trips. The martial eagle is the largest eagle in Africa, with a body length of up to 38 inches and a weight of up to 14 pounds. Its massive body not only gives it tremendous strength, but its claws can crush a human arm bone in an instant. However, what truly sets this bird of prey apart is its exceptionally sharp eyesight. On clear, dry season days, the martial eagle can spot its prey from as far as 3.7 miles away a distance. That's almost impossible for any other predator in this vast ecosystem. When the right moment comes, it dives at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, its powerful legs striking down from the sky like two sharp spears. The struggle to survive during the dry season is not just a test of strength and speed, but also a challenge of endurance on the parched plains of the Liuwa savanna. When the antelope herds migrate in search of water, the martial eagle is forced to expand its hunting territory. It can fly dozens of miles each day to hunt for prey, while always keeping a safe distance from human activity, a presence that is becoming increasingly dominant in this vast habitat. Although it sits at the top of the food chain, the martial eagle is still at risk of extinction. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature's 2024 update, this species is currently classified as endangered. The causes are not only due to habitat loss from expanding agriculture, but also collisions with high-voltage power lines, poisoning from eating the carcasses of contaminated animals, and even being mistakenly shot because they are seen as a threat to livestock. With their slow reproductive rate and need for vast territories, even a small change in the environment can have serious consequences for the survival of the martial eagle. When the martial eagle finishes its powerful dive, leaving a heavy, quiet stillness over the grasslands beneath the vast sky, the arrival of the white-backed vulture ushers in a new phase, silent yet no less important. While the scorching sunlight turns the Liuwa plains into a sea of golden dust, the slow spirals of vultures reveal a different rhythm of life, deeply connected to their role as the biological guardians of the entire ecosystem. Their shadows against the sky serve as a reminder of the endless cycle of survival, the delicate balance between life and death in this harsh wilderness. The white-backed vulture was once one of the largest and most widespread vulture species in Africa, with a body length ranging from 31 to 39 inches, a wingspan of about 6.4 to 7.4 feet, and a weight of up to 6 pounds. They are considered the true gatekeepers of the sky, playing an irreplaceable role in the wild ecosystem. The most distinctive feature of the white-backed vulture is its pure white feathers on its back, which are easily noticeable when it spreads its wings. Its featherless head and neck allow it to reach deep into animal carcasses without getting infected, making it highly effective in its role as nature's cleanup crew. Their extraordinary eyesight allows them to spot carcasses from great distances, making these vultures the silent hunters of the arid grasslands. Especially during the dry season, when many herbivores such as roan antelopes and plain zebras face thirst and exhaustion, white-backed vultures stand out for their vital and irreplaceable role. They often gather in large flocks, sometimes numbering in the hundreds, and are capable of cleaning the carcass of a medium-sized animal in less than an hour. In addition, their powerful digestive system can destroy infected tissues and harmful bacteria without any harm to themselves, helping to prevent the spread of disease within wild populations. There was a time when the white-backed vulture population reached about 270,000, but by 2024, that number had plummeted by more than 80% in just 50 years. This has placed the species on the IUCN Red List as critically endangered. The main reason for this sharp decline is poisoning, which often occurs when they consume carcasses contaminated with pesticides, veterinary drugs such as diclofenac, or are deliberately poisoned to eliminate lions. In arid regions like the Liuwa grasslands, where life and death compete for every breath, the white-backed vulture is more than just a scavenger. They are nature's final filter, keeping the environment clean, maintaining a balanced ecosystem, and ensuring the continuous cycle of life. Although many people often associate vultures with a gloomy, frightening image, do you think that the most misunderstood creatures might actually be the most important ones? Share your thoughts in the comments below. When the rains return, bringing vibrant life to the parched land, the Liuwa plains welcome a dark cavalry thundering across the grasslands. Each heavy step of the Cape buffalo sinks deep into the soft, damp earth, carrying with it the breath of a vast ecosystem shaped by the power of the herd and millions of years of evolutionary memory. This is the Cape buffalo, a vivid symbol of resilience and incredible vitality in the wild. The Cape buffalo, also known as the African buffalo, is the largest wild bovine species still found on the African continent. They are often referred to as the Black Death because of their unpredictable temperament and fierce, formidable fighting abilities. An adult male can weigh between 1,920 and 1,985 pounds and stand up to 5.6 feet tall at the shoulder, making them one of the most robust forest animals. The distinctive feature that makes the Cape buffalo unique is its curved horns, which form a solid bone shield called a boss. This protective armor guards the head during battles and also serves as a sharp weapon when facing off against predators like lions or hyenas. Even though the offspring are smaller, they still have a sturdy build suitable for protecting the herd. When the rainy season begins, instead of migrating like many other animal species, Cape buffalo do not leave the Liuwa area. Instead, they move laterally within this region. From the higher lowlands, they make short-term moves to lower hills where fresh grass has just begun to grow after the rain. Their ability to adapt to swampy, moist soil environments allows them to maintain a plentiful food supply without having to undertake long migratory journeys. This movement is guided by experienced individuals who use their memory to determine the safest direction, with the greatest potential for finding food. An exceptionally keen sense of smell is the secret weapon for finding water sources and detecting danger from a distance. The latest ecological studies show that Cape buffalo can detect the scent of lions from more than 1.2 miles away, allowing them to proactively change direction when predators are nearby. Although their eyesight and hearing aren't particularly sharp, their exceptional sense of smell, strong group memory, and collective awareness keep them on high alert when predators are most active. The social structure of Cape buffalo is built on unity and seamless cooperation. Each herd can range from several dozen to more than 300 individuals, led by experienced and knowledgeable members. When faced with danger, they don't scatter, but instead gather together to form a solid defensive wall. Large males usually line up at the front, shielding the females and young on the inside. There have been numerous accounts of coordinated counterattacks by Cape buffalo that ended with the death of a lion, a powerful testament to the strength of collective action and the instinct to protect one another passed down through generations. During the rainy season, Cape buffalo are like living lawnmowers across the landscape. Each adult consumes about 33 pounds of hay per day, which is equivalent to 2.2% of its body weight, a sufficient amount of food to maintain their massive size. This activity not only helps control the height of vegetation, but also expands access to food sources for many ground-dwelling bird species and other small animals. As a result, it contributes to maintaining ecological balance while promoting biodiversity within the larger natural ecosystem. This is truly a prime example of the mutually supportive relationships between species in the wild. On lush green meadows, nature creates a vibrant symphony, where small yet remarkably sophisticated animals quietly play their part in maintaining ecological balance. The gentle footsteps of small herbivores not only cause no harm, but also help soften the soil, creating favorable conditions for young grass to regenerate and stimulating microbial activity in the soil, especially during the rainy season. Amidst that setting, standing out with its graceful appearance, is a small antelope with gently curved horns, the red lechwe. It's their long, narrow feet that allow them to glide effortlessly over the soft mud as if they were born to belong to this wetland. What's remarkable are the black markings on their front legs, which look as if they were painted by the hand of nature itself. These markings help individuals recognize one another across the vast flooded fields and through the misty haze where the sounds of frogs and toads blend seamlessly with the rhythms of the natural world. In the Liuwa region, where water is not only a source of life, but also the driving force behind every biological rhythm, the population of red lechwe is estimated at around 700 individuals year-round, according to the latest 2024 report from African parks. Unlike aggressive antelopes or plain zebras, the red lechwe does not migrate over long distances. Instead, it mainly shifts its location in response to changes in water levels and the quality of aquatic vegetation. When the water recedes, it leaves behind fresh grasslands along the riverbank, and the red antelopes will quickly move in to enjoy the new source of food. On the other hand, when the water level rises and floods the grasslands, they gradually retreat to shallower areas only about knee-deep and sometimes join migrating herds of hartebeest, taking the opportunity to search for greener restades, pastures. The body of the red lechwe is perfectly designed for a semi-aquatic lifestyle. An adult male can reach up to 4 feet tall and weigh about 265 pounds, while the female is slightly smaller. Their fur is coated with a natural oil that makes it waterproof, keeping them warm when they have to immerse themselves in the cold waters of the flooded fields. Not only that, water also serves as an effective living shield. When chased by a predator, the whole herd will quickly rush into deeper water, using their swimming skills and speed to throw off the pursuer, causing them to stumble, lose momentum, or give up. The strength of the red antelope doesn't lie in pure agility, but rather in its remarkable ability to adapt to its surroundings. They know how to move skillfully with the current, choose the right type of grass to eat, avoid dangerous deep waters, and live peacefully with other species like zebras and wildebeests without directly competing for food sources. Thanks to this, the red antelope has become an important link in the wetland ecosystem, helping to maintain biodiversity and ecological balance throughout the entire ecosystem. It can be said that the presence of the red antelope not only enriches the natural landscape here, but also serves as a testament to the wonders of nature in utilizing biological traits to adapt and thrive, thereby preserving life for generations to come. Controlling the biomass of aquatic plants, creating safe corridors for birds to forage, and serving as a potential food source for native predators, these are the indispensable roles played by the small inhabitants of aquatic ecosystems. With their slender bodies, they have become a familiar target for the silent predator of the night, the leopard. It's not the thunderous roar or incredible speed that maintains the leopard's dominance, but rather its silence, patience, and absolute precision. A solitary predator in the vast, boundless world of endless waters. According to the latest 2024 data from African wildlife reserves, the number of leopards recorded in the Liuwa area remains very low, with most of them found in higher ground and along waterways where the trees are not completely submerged. Although there are only a few dozen individuals left, they are still capable of maintaining their ecological role as apex predators even during the rainy season, when most herbivores have to retreat to shallower waters to avoid flooding. The rainy season in Liuwa not only brings new opportunities, but also presents significant challenges. As the water spreads across the prairie, herds of wild horses, zebras and red deer take turns moving to the new grasslands emerging from the wetlands. But it's that very change that makes the terrain so unpredictable and full of surprises. With the leopard, every step now has to be carefully calculated. Which path is safe? Which patch of mud can slow down a leap? And will that leap determine the survival of the predator or the prey? Unlike lions, which often struggle in humid environments, leopards move with exceptional agility thanks to their moderate body weight, ranging from 88 to 154 pounds, depending on gender and their ability to distribute pressure evenly across all four legs. They don't need to engage in a long chase. The leopard adopts a different strategy. It approaches from behind or from the side, taking advantage of bushes, elevated ground, small mounds, or even the sound of rain to conceal its footsteps. A single leap, with all its force concentrated on the neck and nape, is usually all it takes to bring down its prey. During the rainy season, when the scent of blood is easily washed away by the rain, the ability to drag prey up into the trees becomes extremely important. Hiding prey high up in the branches not only helps protect the meal from scavengers, but also minimizes the smell, preventing it from attracting birds of prey or other predators that could become deadly competitors. The rainy season also marks the beginning of a time when life flourishes and new growth emerges. Although leopards do not follow a fixed breeding schedule, high humidity and an abundance of small prey create ideal conditions for mother leopards to care for their cubs. After mating, the female will seek out safe and secluded places to give birth, ensuring that the next generation has the opportunity to grow up in a world where water and earth are intimately intertwined. In the wild, a safe haven for the queen of the jungle isn't always a spacious den. Sometimes it's just a hollow tree, a patch of tall grass, or a deserted mound, places where she can peacefully give birth and care for her cubs in quiet solitude. Each time they give birth, naturally only 1 to 3 cubs are born, and during the first few weeks, these baby leopards remain safely tucked away in their shelter, staying far from any outside danger. The journey of learning how to hunt begins when they are about 4 months old, marking the official start of their independent lives. Unlike many other big cats, leopards seem to prefer living completely alone. They do not form groups, nor do they share their territory or food with others of their kind. Each individual marks its own territory with urine, feces, and sharp claw marks on dry tree trunks, creating clear signals that define the boundaries. When the rainy season arrives and the scent marks on the ground are washed away by the rain, leopards switch to marking their territory on tree bark, accompanied by deep rumbling roars, a powerful declaration of their presence and dominance in the area. Despite facing many challenges, the leopard is still classified as a vulnerable species as of 2025 due to conflicts with humans, illegal hunting, and increasingly severe deforestation. However, in reserves managed by organizations like African parks, especially in areas such as Lusaka, a relatively safe habitat for this unique species has been preserved. Although it rarely appears before people, the presence of the leopard is a silent testament to its resilience and remarkable adaptability. A true lord of the night, quiet, yet full of majesty and composure. Across the vast skies of sub-Saharan Africa, the African fish eagle soars over the territories of more than 35 countries. In Zambia, it is regarded as a national symbol representing freedom, strength, and an indomitable spirit of independence. The image of the pure white eagle soaring over the marshlands, its wings shimmering in the sunlight, has become deeply intertwined with the local culture and ecosystem. As the water level begins to rise, fish swim through the flooded channels, their silvery bodies shimmering and drifting in the light, making the fish eagles more visible than ever. Not forming flocks, eagles usually choose a high tree branch near the riverbank as an ideal lookout spot, carefully watching every small movement in the water. With a wingspan that can reach up to 8 feet and a weight of about 4.5 to 8 pounds, this eagle is light enough to soar effortlessly over marshlands, yet powerful enough to swoop down and catch its prey with split-second precision. The legs of the fish eagle are equipped with tiny hook-like spines that help it grip slippery fish tightly even while flying through the air, ensuring it doesn't lose its catch. Once it has firmly caught its prey, the eagle can carry it for hundreds of yards, demonstrating its remarkable hunting skills and balance in its flooded habitat. This is not just the story of a bird of prey, but also a testament to resilience and continuous learning in the wild. There's no need to stop and rest. The African fish eagle can return to its nest quickly and nimbly after each long hunt. Although fish are their main food source, when fish become scarce or rising water levels make hunting less effective, they will switch to hunting water birds, aquatic turtles, wild ducks, and sometimes even larger prey. The rainy season is not only the ideal time for hunting, but also the breeding season for this bird species. Pairs that have mated for life often return to the same large nest built from dry branches. These nests can be more than 6 feet wide and tower high, firmly attached to a large tree by the riverbank. Each breeding season, the nest is reinforced and expanded, turning into a sturdy fortress, strong enough to withstand the early seasonal wind. The offspring lay between 1 and 3 eggs with an incubation period lasting about 42 to 45 days. The baby birds are carefully cared for in the nest for almost 3 months before they take their first flight. And even after they have reached physical maturity, they continue to learn how to hunt for several more months. Throughout the flood season, each pair of African fish eagles fiercely defends its territory. Every morning, one of the 2 birds calls out loudly from the nest or a high branch, creating the distinctive sound known as the voice of Africa. That cry echoed across the water, rising above the treetops, carrying with it a wild, nostalgic spirit, a sense of majesty and stillness, yet brimming with strength. Although they are known as efficient hunters, African fish eagles do not always hunt alone. When given the chance, they will steal food from other birds such as herons or loons, a behavior known as kleptoparasitism. This phenomenon occurs more frequently at the end of the rainy season, when the fish population decreases and other bird species have difficulty hunting because of fast-moving water or widely dispersed fish. In the first breezes of the season, blowing through the reeds and rippling across the water's surface, the silhouette of an eagle with its broad wings soars through the sky, embodying the calm and commanding presence of an ancient master. Hunter no need for any flashy displays. The African fish eagle is not just a bird of prey. It is also a silent symbol of the natural world, operating with precision and freedom. At the Liuwa Plains, nearly 45,000 blue wildebeest gather, creating Africa's second largest migration, surpassed only by the massive herds of the Serengeti Mara. Guided by ancestral instincts, the herd of blue wildebeest senses the changing of the seasons even before the first drops of rain fall, feeling nature's transformation from deep within. When the wind carries moisture, thunder rumbles in the distance, and the ground gently shifts beneath their hooves. The wildebeests never rush, yet they are always right on time. Because for them, this journey isn't just a simple wander, it's a matter of ultimate survival. The migration isn't random. It's an annual cycle that has been passed down through many generations. Every patch of land, each clump of grass, and every puddle is remembered and replayed in the herd's memory. They crossed muddy lands and small streams along the roughly 155-mile journey across the Liuwa plain. Although it's only a quarter as long as the famous Serengeti migration route, the path of the wildebeest here is no less dangerous, with predators constantly lurking nearby. Sometimes the herd splits into smaller groups, weaving through safe corridors. But eventually they gather again on the dry, elevated land at the center of the grassland. Each member plays an important role in the overall safety of the herd. The herd of wildebeests doesn't have a clear leader. Instead, they constantly watch each other to detect danger. When a threat appears, the herd immediately forms a solid circle, placing the young in the center, while the adults face outward to confront the enemy. This creates an image like a small whirlwind sweeping across the flooded area, both visually striking and highly strategic. Liuwa is not just a place to stay, it's a space for rejuvenation. At the end of the rainy season, when the grass starts to dry out, the breeding season begins. After about 8.5 months of pregnancy, the females give birth in areas with broader visibility, making it easier to spot predators. Within just a few minutes after birth, the young are able to stand firmly and walk, an essential biological trait for a species that must stay on the move. Wildebeests are not just migratory animals, they also act as diligent gardeners of the savanna. By grazing on short grasses, they create open spaces that allow taller grasses and shrubs to grow elsewhere. Their constant movement helps regenerate the soil, circulate nutrients, and maintain the vast biodiversity of the grasslands. When an individual falls, it's not the end of a life, but the beginning of a whole new series of food chains. The final life of a wildebeest can sustain hyenas, vultures, and even nourish the land. Through the lens of nature, this absolute migration is not simply a matter of instinct. Guided solely by the compass of survival, they journey together for hundreds of miles toward a destination that represents not just life, but also hope and renewal. At the right time, in the right place, year after year, that's the magical beauty of the natural cycle, like a gentle whisper from nature itself, quiet yet steadfast, guiding life in a universe that is constantly in motion. In the land of Liuwa during the flood season, nothing happens by chance. And for the blue wildebeest, each rainy season marks the beginning of a new chapter in their survival story. A story shaped not only by nature itself, but also by the complex relationships between predators and companions. At the same time, the number of zebra herds usually surges as groups from the edge of the nature park move toward the heart of the savanna in search of fresh, lush green grass. The 2024 report from African Parks states that thousands of zebras fill the Liuwa region, gathering in large mixed herds with blue wildebeests and many other grazing species. Unlike the wildebeest's strategy of enduring hardship, zebras rely more on their strong social structure and sharp observational skills to survive. Plains zebras are medium-sized compared to the 3 zebra species. They have a well-proportioned body, a short but strong neck, upright ears, and long legs ending in a single central hoof, which allows them to move quickly and easily even in flooded terrain. Their weight typically ranges from 485 to 660 pounds, with a height at the shoulder from 3.9 to 4.7 feet. When food is plentiful and the plains expand, many small groups often gather to form larger herds, taking advantage of the safety in numbers and creating a powerful migratory force. The bonds within each group are maintained through caring behaviors, close physical contact, and distinctive communication signals, such as braying, the loud resonant call unique to zebras, as well as subtle movements of the ears and tail. This is also an important time in the reproductive cycle. The females usually give birth at the end of the rainy season after a pregnancy lasting about 12 to 13 months. Although the environment is still damp, the abundant grasslands and improved visibility after the water recedes help the foals adapt to life more quickly and reduce the risk of sudden attacks from predators. In just a few minutes, foals are able to stand up and trot alongside their mothers, a vital survival skill for their constantly migrating lifestyle. When danger arises, the males step up to protect the group, either by shielding them during movement or by distracting predators to give the herd enough time to escape safely. With a history of evolution spanning millions of years, wildebeests and zebras have become icons of the African savanna. Fossil evidence shows that the ancestors of the spotted hyena lived on the savanna millions of years ago, revealing a complex ecosystem where each species not only fought for survival, but also cooperated to maintain the balance of diverse life in this land. This is the astonishing beauty of nature, where every detail, from the sound of birdsong and the stretch of fresh grass to the hoofbeats of zebras, blends together to create a vibrant and poetic symphony on the legendary land of Liuwa. The Pliocene epoch saw the emergence and rapid development of the spotted hyena crocuta, making it one of the most evolutionarily resilient predators in Africa. Contrary to the common belief that hyenas are merely scavengers, the latest research in 2025 has shown that over 70% of their food comes from prey they hunt themselves. Studies on modern ecological behavior, such as a 2024 field survey conducted by African Parks at Liuwa National Park, have also shown that striped hyenas have a hunting success rate of up to 67%, surpassing even top predators like lions. The striped hyena's exceptional physical strength comes from its extremely powerful jaws, which have an average bite force of about 100 pounds per square inch. This unique tooth structure allows them to crush large bones, animal horns, and even claws with incredible ease. The ability to digest almost an entire carcass, including the calcium in bones, makes hyenas an essential link in the nutrient recycling cycle of the ecosystem. That's not all. Their hunting tactics are incredibly diverse, and adaptable hyenas can hunt alone in pairs or in small groups of 4 to 6 individuals, depending on the conditions and the type of prey. In special situations such as breeding season or large-scale herd migrations of wildebeest or zebras, they can form coordinated hunting groups of up to several dozen individuals. These groups work together to approach and scatter the herd, then isolate vulnerable prey like young animals or injured individuals to make them easier to take down. A prime example of this sophisticated cooperation is the encircle and approach behavior, which is frequently observed in the Liuwa area during January and February, when hunting conditions are at their most favorable of the year. Currently, the striped hyena population in the Liuwa Plains is estimated to range from 200 to 300 individuals, primarily concentrated in the highlands surrounding the seasonal wetlands. Unlike antelopes or zebras, which typically undertake long migrations, hyenas do not travel long distances. Instead, they usually maintain a home range of about 200 to 400 square miles, depending on the season and prey density. During the rainy season, when many grasslands are flooded and herds of grazers gather in limited areas of dry, elevated land, hyenas take full advantage of this opportunity to increase their hunting efficiency. The social structure of the striped hyena is also extremely complex and unique. A pack of hyenas can have as many as 80 individuals, with a strict hierarchy in place and absolute dominance held by the females. Hierarchy within the pack is determined not only by strength, but also by lineage. The offspring of high-ranking females will inherit a similar status. This very system helps maintain internal order, especially in an environment where cooperation is not just an advantage, but a necessity for survival. Communication within the pack, especially through vocalizations, gestures, and scents, also plays a vital role, helping to coordinate close and effective cooperation during hunting and territorial defense activities. The striped hyena is not only a symbol of strength and adaptability, but also a vivid testament to the evolution of carnivorous species on the African continent. They continually overcome natural challenges, from their sharp hunting abilities to their sophisticated social structures, allowing them to adapt and thrive in a highly competitive and ever-changing ecosystem. It is their diversity in tactics and social structure that has enabled them to survive for millions of years and remain a key player in maintaining the ecological balance across the vast wilderness of Africa today. In the radiant beauty of the rainy season, puddles come alive, adorned with the pure white silhouettes of great egret's birds, with elegant marble-like bodies rising gracefully from the shimmering water. Their pure white fur glows with an angelic radiance, while their long, slender black legs give them an elegant grace, making them seem like sacred messengers wandering through the wild, flooded lands. From above the sight of birds gliding leisurely, their necks gracefully curved into an shape, their wings spanning nearly 67 inches, like silent sails, drifting across the deep blue sky, leaves an unforgettable impression on anyone who witnesses it. But behind that graceful beauty lies a challenging journey of survival, honed over millions of years of evolution, with sophisticated hunting strategies and an incredible ability to adapt. The great white heron belongs to the Ardeidae family and is one of the largest members of this family. Their ancestors underwent a complex evolutionary process, developing hunting skills thanks to their tall, large bodies and long legs suited for wading through muddy waters. At the same time, they acquired the ability to be patient and strike accurately to catch fish, shrimp, and other small aquatic animals. This bird is not only a symbol of pure natural beauty, but also a vivid testament to harmony and ecological balance in the Liuwa floodplain ecosystem during the rainy season. Each gentle flight over the water and every leisurely step tells a story about the power of nature to nurture life and promote sustainable growth for all living beings. The large eagle species is believed to have appeared during the Miocene epoch more than 10 million years ago. With their increasing size and agile hunting abilities, they quickly expanded their habitat across tropical and subtropical regions around the world. In wetland areas, large eagles find the ideal environment for both hunting and nesting. They usually appear alone or quietly in pairs, gliding gently through shallow waters where small fish, frogs, crustaceans, and aquatic insects thrive in the fast-flowing fresh water. Unlike many predators that are noisy or aggressive, the great eagle chooses absolute silence. Sometimes they stand completely still for several minutes, their eyes focused as they wait for even the slightest movement. At the perfect moment, their spear-like beaks lunge forward at lightning speed in the blink of an eye. It is this patience and absolute precision that have made the great eagle one of the most skilled hunters in the marshlands. In particular, large eagles are highly adaptable and are not restricted to any specific type of terrain. During the dry season, when the water recedes and flooded areas disappear, some individuals migrate to milder climates in southern Africa or along river and lake systems that still have water. Some others choose to stay in areas of wetlands that are flooded year-round, such as permanent swamps or man-made lakes. This ability to move flexibly is the key factor in maintaining stable populations of large eagles across Africa, especially in the vast wetland plains. BirdLife International's 2024 report estimates that the global population of large eagles exceeds 2.2 million individuals, with approximately 180,000 mature birds living in the sub-Saharan region. Belonging to the same crane family, the gray-crowned crane exudes an elegant, regal beauty rather than a quiet, ancient charm. With its vibrant golden crest resembling a crown atop its head, this species of crane has become a national symbol featured on the coat of arms and flag of Uganda. Standing majestically on one leg with its golden crest held high, it is the embodiment of dignity, grace, and the spirit of peace. With a slender, graceful body about 3 feet tall and a wingspan reaching up to 6.5 feet, the gray-headed crane embodies both elegance and hidden strength. Unique among herons, they are able to perch in trees thanks to their long hind toes, a rare evolutionary trait inherited from ancient tree-dwelling ancestors. The main distribution of the gray-crowned crane stretches from eastern and southern Africa across countries such as Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania to Zambia, Zimbabwe, and South Africa, especially in wetland plains. During the rainy season, they take advantage of the vast flooded areas. Shallow puddles formed by heavy rains become ideal gathering spots for birds to forage and breed. The common crane grus, with its extremely flexible and diverse diet, is a living testament to the remarkable adaptability of wildlife. They don't just eat grasses, clover seeds, and tree buds. They also hunt for earthworms, insects, frogs, and even small geckos. Sometimes they sneak into nearby rice fields to forage for extra grains. The subtle combination of plants and small animals in their diet makes these birds versatile workers in the wetland ecosystem, maintaining nutritional balance while regulating populations of insects and other small creatures. However, it's not just their diet that makes this bird unique. When the rains begin to raise the water levels, the Saros cranes enter their breeding season with an elaborate and artistic courtship ritual. Head bowed, low wings spread, wide body leaping into the air, finishing with a graceful bow. This isn't just a dance to attract a mate, but also a performance that forges an everlasting bond between loyal pairs of birds. Saros cranes typically form long-term monogamous pairs, sharing the responsibilities of raising their chicks and defending their territory during the breeding season. Outside of this period, they gather in large groups, sometimes reaching up to 150 individuals, forming a vibrant and tightly knit social network. Even more interesting, the seasonal migration of the sarus crane mainly depends on the availability of water sources. Unlike many other species of cranes that migrate long distances, they move locally, adapting flexibly to the flow and changing water levels in flooded wetlands. This makes birds an important indicator of the overall health of wetland ecosystems. If the water in wetland areas decreases or becomes polluted, the population and concentration of sarus cranes will quickly fluctuate. Despite their striking beauty and remarkable adaptability in diet and behavior, the population of sarus cranes is declining at an alarming rate. According to the latest 2024 data from BirdLife International, the total number of mature individuals worldwide is estimated to range from 17,700 to 22,300. And this species is currently classified as Endangered 1, the Tanti for the WOA, by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN. The main causes of decline are habitat loss due to agricultural land conversion, water pollution, overexploitation of wetlands, as well as illegal hunting and trading for commercial purposes or captivity. However, in the Liuwa Plains, where the natural wetland system remains intact, wattled cranes still have a slim chance to breed and survive. Although the challenges continue to grow, maintaining seasonal flooding and limiting human intervention in the wetlands will be crucial to ensuring that the chorus of the rainy season remains an enduring part of Africa's natural symphony. On the Liuwa savanna during prolonged periods of drought, the negative impacts not only harm the ecosystem, but also profoundly affect the local community. In response to this urgent situation, the Lewanikika Community Resource Management Council partnered with 10 community action groups to launch a $250 relief program, providing transparent food aid to nearly 500 households in 10 severely affected villages, including the community in the Liuwa Plains. This initiative not only demonstrates a strong spirit of unity, but also serves as a testament to the incredible resilience of the local people in the face of harsh adversity. After a long period of drought, the Liuwa Plains are beginning to recover, a journey filled with hope and renewal. The reintroduction of African buffalo, African lions, and African wild dogs not only marks the return of top predators, but is also evidenced by their successful breeding as early as 2022 after their reappearance. By 2024, more than 20 lions had established stable territories, while the migration of 40,000 blue wildebeest Conochates taurinus continued to maintain ecological balance, attracting rare bird species to return and inhabit the area. Advanced technologies such as camera traps and GPS tracking, combined with a conservation team made up of more than 95% local residents, have established a sustainable and comprehensive ecological monitoring network. Food aid has helped revive 500 households, accompanied by regular environmental education classes and livelihood development programs to support the community in adapting harmoniously with nature. Liuwa Plains, through the tireless efforts of people working in harmony with nature, has once again experienced a powerful resurgence. However, to ensure that the paths of migration are not disrupted by climate change and that the roar of lions or the beating wings of cranes do not fade into mere memories, every action we take today is crucial for survival. Let's work together to reduce our ecological footprint, support conservation programs, and raise awareness about biodiversity to protect the Liuwa Plains and countless other ecosystems around the world that are quietly calling for help. If you've ever been lucky enough to visit Liuwa Plains National Park and witness one of Africa's most incredible wildlife adventures, or take part in the vibrant Coca Festival of the indigenous Lului people, don't hesitate to share your valuable experiences in the comments below. Your stories are a tremendous source of inspiration and motivation for efforts to conserve nature and protect endangered species, helping to preserve these incredible ecosystems for future generations. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you can join us in discovering more amazing adventures. Or you can continue to follow the challenging survival journeys of wild species in other grassland regions, places where every step of migration carries an emotional story of life and survival. The Nile River, the lifeblood of Africa, is not only a precious source of water, but also a dramatic backdrop for epic tales of survival in the wild. Here, every rushing current holds dramatic clashes between cunning predators and powerful creatures fighting for survival. Life and death intertwine in the ceaseless rhythm of nature, painting a complex and vibrant ecological tapestry. On the riverbank, giant Nile crocodiles silently lurk beneath the clear water, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike at any careless prey. With their absolute power and sophisticated ambush techniques, they are the undisputed rulers of these waters. But it's not just crocodiles. Fish eagles and African tigerfish also play a role in the survival hunt, creating a relentless ecological cycle. Each creature develops its own unique strategies, from agility to endurance, to survive in this never-ending race. However, stress comes not only from natural predators, but also from harsh environmental changes caused by climate change and human intervention. Water sources are increasingly running dry, and food is becoming scarce, making life along the banks of the Nile River more challenging than ever before. Survival stories are not just battles between different species, but also the resilient journey of an entire ecosystem facing a life-or-death challenge. This serves as a profound reminder of the deep connection between people and nature, inspiring a sense of responsibility to protect this precious river for future generations. The wild world still holds many things waiting to be discovered. If you love nature and cherish every beat of its life, leave a comment below and hit subscribe to join Nature Moment on this incredible journey. They don't rush or hurry. Instead, every step they take is precise and carefully considered. Those are desert lionesses, with their slender bodies blending perfectly into the arid landscape. These predators have evolved to survive in harsh environments with scarce resources. A slender body and wide feet are adaptive features that help them move easily across unstable ground, allowing them to maintain incredible agility. Their fur color, a blend of bright yellow and desert orange red, makes their figures appear like ghosts gliding across the sand dunes. There's no camouflage more effective than blending completely into nature. But that beauty does not guarantee survival. Large herds of antelope are very rare here, and buffaloes are almost never seen. The lionesses have to walk for miles under the scorching sun, their eyes always alert and their muscles constantly ready for each hunt. Each day of rare hunting is like going all in on a gamble, where life and death are separated by only a hair's breadth. From a distance, through the shimmering air distorted by the intense heat, a strange image appeared. Giraffes, with their slow, graceful gait and long necks stretching up as if to touch the sky, appear gently like giant phantoms of the desert. A hazy mirage shimmers among the acacia trees, where giraffes move leisurely across the parched earth, tirelessly searching for the last patches of green in the barren landscape. Their sharp eyes constantly scan the vast land, while their long, agile tongues gently brush over each thorn, as if guided by an invisible map. Each leaf is seen as a small achievement, and each tree trunk is a challenge yet to be conquered. Time passed as slowly as if it were stretching on forever under the scorching desert sun. On the distant side, the lionesses patiently wait for an opportunity. They understand that strength isn't necessarily an advantage. What truly matters is choosing the right moment to act. Under the relentless heat of the sun, they remained motionless, letting the scorching sand burn beneath their feet while keeping the coldness in their hearts. The whole herd moved skillfully, positioning themselves precisely along the route that giraffes frequently traveled. No rush, only the watchful silence of a predator that knows the desert down to every last corner. Finally, when everything was ready, and without any warning, the pride of lions burst forth like invisible arrows, streaking across the scorching sand. The startled giraffes, with their awkwardly long strides, wandered in a daze, searching for a place to hide. But now, the roles have already been determined. The waiting period is over, and the real hunt begins. After many hours of persistence, victory belonged to the pride of lions. 7 lionesses gathered around the prey's carcass, the lingering warmth from the ground seeming to absorb the exhaustion from their relentless efforts. They lay down, took deep breaths, and calmly licked the spots on their muzzles, with absolute tranquility and harmony. In the harsh world of the desert, conflict and loss are nothing more than a waste of precious resources. One of the oldest lionesses lifted her head, her calm gaze sweeping across the vast expanse as if she had witnessed every change the desert had ever seen. There were no vultures or hyenas in sight, only the gentle sound of the wind and the soft rustling of fine sand. The young lion turned onto its side, stretched out its legs, and pressed its face against another member of the pride. A simple gesture, yet full of affection. In rare moments of abundance, even predators come to appreciate the fleeting sense of stability. The desert has bestowed a precious gift, and the conflict has temporarily subsided. On the horizon, the sky shifted from the pale blue of daytime to brilliant shades of gold and orange, draping the desert in a mesmerizing cloak of light that left one in awe. The lions were still breathing heavily, but their heart rates had started to slow down. Their bodies relaxed, and their eyes grew softer. Tonight, they might quietly wander again, searching for some shade, or simply a bit of peace and quiet. But now, at this moment, they are resting, and for that brief instant, the desert has given new hope to life. In a moment when it seemed as if the wild world had briefly set aside its strict rules, the morning began gently in the Namib Desert. The early morning sunlight was still gentle, painting the horizon with a pale golden hue as delicate as a strand of silk. For a few brief moments, the harsh heat seemed to hesitate, holding back from spreading right away. Amid the silent sand dunes, a trail appears, a series of deep, evenly spaced footprints, bearing witness to an ancient journey that has connected generations. It was the pilgrimage of the desert elephants, giant elders moving forward with slow, deliberate steps, like seasoned travelers who know every grain of sand beneath their feet. They don't roar or clash noisily. Instead, they quietly and steadfastly follow an invisible path. Long legs with wide feet are perfectly designed to cross this arid coastal region, where every step demands exceptional balance and strength. The thick, light grey skin, dusted with a hint of powder, reflects some of the blazing sunlight and shields the body from the scorching heat. Leading the herd is the oldest female elephant, the silent guide. The gentle movements, the rhythmic flapping of their cool ears, and the precise, steady steps all serve as guiding signals for the herd, from the adults to the calves just taking their first wobbly steps on the hot sand. The whole herd moved forwards side by side, as if the entire desert had been etched into their collective physical memory. They know exactly where they're going, no signs, no clear paths. But there's something else you can only sense with your nose: the smell of water. Breezes carrying delicate traces of moisture drifted by, and the matriarch sensed something that was invisible to the naked eye. Water is not just a necessity for survival, it is destiny. After hours of enduring the escalating heat, the promise was finally fulfilled. In front of them, a shallow lake appeared, shimmering in the sunlight like a magical sheet of liquid glass. This place is a modest oasis, yet it is vital for survival. The elephants don't rush or charge forward in desperation. They approached leisurely, as if time itself slowed down to honor the moment. Herds of Oryx antelopes lay silently, alert to every small movement. The dark stripes on their sandy-colored bodies help them blend almost invisibly into their surroundings. A little farther away, a herd of zebras lowered their heads to drink, their black and white stripes seeming to dance on the water's shimmering surface. Migratory birds gather along the lakeshore, their songs blending with the gentle breeze, filling the area with vitality. A small hub of life in the midst of a vast landscape. The elephants calmly dipped their trunks into the water. The gentle sound of water being drawn is like a sacred ritual. A few playful baby elephants, eager to explore, spray water onto their backs with their trunks, spinning around in innocent laughter as they discover the new world around them. Every step and every breath of that herd of elephants is not just a journey toward water, but also a story of patience, primal strength, and the enduring spiritual bond among survivors in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Through the deep footprints left in the sand, that image teaches us that nature always finds a way to adapt and sustain life based on quiet, subtle understanding. And right here in this desert, a land that seems lifeless, a vibrant symphony is unfolding, with the desert elephant as its conductor, guiding every creature to join together in the endless song of existence. Under the watchful eyes of the females, the young elephants freely explore their own limits. It's not just a game. It's also an important survival lesson in the wild. Even so, even in that peaceful moment, the tension in the air remained unrelenting. The silhouettes of the lions lurked beneath the dry, distant trees, silently observing the unfolding life around them. They're not in a hurry to act. With the presence of these giants, they have to choose between hunger and danger, and the risk clearly outweighs their appetite. Respect for elephants, the rulers of this arid land, helps maintain the delicate balance of nature. Time passed slowly as the sun gradually reached its peak in the sky. The surface of the lake rippled gently in the light breeze. The entire desert seemed to hold its breath, waiting for a few moments of peace. However, the herd of elephants didn't stay for long. They understand that this precious lake is only a temporary stop on their endless journey. After quenching their thirst and finding a bit of rare shade, each member of the herd lines up one by one, walking straight and steadily. The smallest chicks hesitated for a moment, then quickly joined in with the rest of the flock. They continued on their way, leaving footprints in the sand behind them, which would gradually be erased by the wind until they met again. They repeat this journey every day, always searching, always on the move. Because in the desert, stopping is the greatest danger. Something no one understands better than they do. Perhaps we modern people have gotten used to living in a rush, but desert elephants teach us that sometimes it's the slow pace, steady determination, and silent understanding between one another that truly hold a community together through life's storms. In a place where life seems impossible, nature still finds its way. And if that moment moves you, let nature moment accompany you on your journey to discover the enduring beauty of nature. Are you fascinated by elephants, the symbol of wisdom, connection, and extraordinary survival? Comment with the number 9 to let us know you're following these magnificent footsteps across the heart of the desert. Under the blazing sunlight, the barren desert stood out with sharp, rigid shadows cast across the scorching rocks. Amid the low, thorny bushes, there was a tiny sign of life that was almost impossible to notice. On the ground, a bird's nest, cleverly camouflaged among the pebbles and dry dust, is protected by silence and a shrewd strategy. Inside, an egg stirs slightly, signaling that new life is about to begin. A gentle, rustic sound, the gradual cracking of the shell, echoed throughout the stillness. From the inside, a damp beak pierced through the tough shell for the first time, creating a crack that appeared suddenly, like a fissure in time, slowly opening. Little by little, a weak baby ostrich emerged, covered in soft, downy feathers, its eyes unfocused and its body trembling. The first movements are still unsteady and awkward, not yet skillful, but there is one clear and unmistakable desire: to stand up. Not far from there, other eggs also began to stir, as a new generation awakened under the desert sunlight. Around the bird's nest, two guards quietly stood watch. In contrast to the male ostrich, with its dark plumage and imposing stature, always on high alert, its eyes constantly scanning the distant horizon. Next to it, the female ostrich wears a coat of brown feathers that blend in with the color of the earth, serving as a sturdy shield to protect her nest from surrounding threats. The story in this desert is not just a battle for water, or a struggle to survive against the heat and dust, but also a miracle of life, constantly being reborn. A harsh yet stunning cycle in the heart of the wild. Every moment, every step taken by the herd of elephants, and even the very first movements of a young ostrich are vivid testaments to the resilience, courage, and indomitable spirit of wildlife. This balance is maintained through the passionate ebb and flow of nature's rhythms. Sometimes gentle and calm, other times fierce and harsh, continuing in an endless cycle. Taking care of each baby bird just hatched from its egg is a journey that requires dedication and patience. For many weeks, the ostrich parents take turns, incubating, protecting, and relentlessly fighting for their eggs. They have to face the harsh desert heat, nocturnal predators, and even threats from predators in the sky. The long-eared foxes circled the nest several times, while the vultures hovered nearby, waiting for a moment of carelessness to strike. But ostrich parents never give up. They always steadfastly protect their precious chicks. When the baby birds break out of their shells, an even more challenging and fragile journey begins. Their still weak legs must quickly learn how to walk, keep up, and find shelter. Just a few hours after being born, the babies have already had to face the harsh reality of the desert. A world where life and death are separated by only a thin line. However, they are by no means weak. The ostrich father always keeps a watchful eye, looking ahead. When danger appeared, he stood upright and spread his massive wings wide, creating the image of an enormous creature, enough to make even hyenas wary. If necessary, his powerful and precise kicks from his strong legs would serve as a painful warning that any enemy would dread and want to stay far away from. Step by step, the baby birds waddled after their parents, forming a small, fluffy group, trembling under the scorching sun. They stumble, fall down, and then learn to stand up again. They begin pecking at food on the ground, learning to tell the difference between seeds, dry leaves, and tiny insects. Everything is unfamiliar, yet each thing is incredibly important for their survival. As the days go by, the flock gradually leaves the nest to explore the wider world. The voices and gestures of their parents have now become clear signals when to stop, when to duck, and when to make a quick escape. The harsh desert weather is unforgiving of sluggishness, but it also offers valuable lessons to those who are quick-witted and adaptable. Every patch of shade, every gentle breeze, or even the smallest detail that seems insignificant can determine survival. And even though they are small, the baby ostriches carry within them a tremendous strength, the tireless protection of their parents. As they grow up, day by day, their fur changes, their legs become steadier, and their steps grow more confident. In just a short time, they were able to keep up with the adult herd, ready to face the challenges under the harsh desert sun. One day soon, those very young birds will grow up, find their own mates, build carefully camouflaged nests, and listen as the eggshells quietly crack open, welcoming new life into the world. Everything takes place on the arid land where they were born, where each generation that overcomes challenges becomes a testament to resilience and continuity. Amidst the wind-swept Namib Desert, where the intense heat makes the air shimmer, a resilient figure stands tall, a symbol of life, patience, and the power of untamed nature. Against the monochromatic backdrop of sand, a resilient and robust figure stands out: the Oryx antelope, a majestic species endowed by nature with remarkable endurance to survive in the harsh deserts. Their coats are glossy, polished to a smooth shine in every detail, with firm, well-toned muscles moving rhythmically beneath thick skin, ensuring resilience even under the scorching heat. The first thing that catches the eye is the pair of long, straight horns, exuding a sharpness, like two spears forged through 1,000 battles. Both males and females possess these natural weapons, which can deliver fatal blows if provoked. No predator would dare to recklessly attack an oryx without careful consideration, because the black stripes across its face and along its sides make it difficult to spot, allowing it to blend remarkably well into the shadows and dry bushes of the vast desert. Despite its massive build, the oryx becomes almost invisible when standing amidst the arid wilderness. Sharp, watchful eyes stayed alert, while the tail kept swishing non-stop to chase away tiny mites clinging on under the relentless, scorching sun. They live in small groups of about 5 to 10 individuals, mysterious yet highly organized. When food is plentiful, their numbers can grow into large groups of up to 30 individuals, symbolizing the power of unity. The male leads the herd with quiet authority, while the female diligently protects and teaches the young. Their social structure is well defined, but violence rarely occurs. When sensing danger, the Oryx antelope does not choose to flee hastily. Instead, they stopped and formed a solid circle. And the adults positioned their horns outward, creating a protective barrier around the center where the younger members are sheltered. A sophisticated defensive strategy that has safeguarded countless generations, from the most fragile young to the strongest and most resilient. A hasty attack from an enemy, even an inexperienced young lion, can make it reconsider, because the risk of injury is very high. But the oryx is not just a symbol of enduring strength. It also plays an essential ecological role in maintaining balance in the harsh desert environment. They primarily feed on hardy plants, helping to control the overgrowth of shrubs, while also creating essential open spaces for other species to move and survive. Oryx droppings enrich nutrient-poor soil, helping to retain valuable minerals, while their footprints create natural trails that are fully utilized by birds, insects, and other small animals. Through its resilient and remarkable life cycle, the oryx plays an irreplaceable role in the harsh desert ecosystem. When summer arrives at any time of the year, the breeding season brings about a private journey for the females, as they leave the group and travel to distant places to give birth to their young. They seek out secluded, hidden spots among low shrubs or rocky outcrops, places where the risk of being discovered is minimal. The birthing process happens quickly and quietly, and amazingly, the calves are able to stand firmly just a few hours after being born, ready to face the challenging life of this vast desert. The dark, almost brown coat allows young oryx calves to blend in perfectly during their first days of life in the harsh, arid desert. They stay still, relying on their instincts and excellent camouflage abilities to avoid being seen by predators. The mother cares for her baby cautiously, approaching only briefly to nurse and clean it, while also minimizing scents that could attract predators. As they grow up, young oryx gradually adapt to the harsh life of the desert. They learn to sense moisture in the ground, walk for miles, and make the most of the strength of the herd. By the time they turn 1 year old, they start seeking their own space, testing their independence, and facing their first social conflict. Some individuals choose to stay with the herd for a long time, while others boldly venture out to explore new lands and discover unfamiliar territories. Oryx are not only a crucial link in the ecosystem, but they also serve as a signal for desert predators, such as lions, leopards, and hyenas. Their presence means there is an abundant food source. However, the success of the oryx does not come from being easy prey. On the other hand, their strength and courage make it difficult for most predators to catch this prey easily. Therefore, under the scorching sun and the relentless heat of the sand, the oryx calmly keeps moving forward. They don't just survive, they fully immerse themselves in the invisible system that keeps the desert running and alive. As night gradually gives way to dawn, with the lingering chill of the late hours mixing with the impending heat of the day, the agile silhouettes of springbok antelopes quietly begin to weave their way across the vast plains. The springbok, a graceful antelope with slender legs, alert eyes, and a poised stance that balances agility with readiness to fight, is a master at turning speed and vigilance into tools for survival. With its distinctive sandy-colored coat and a dark brown stripe running along its body that highlights the pure white of its belly and face, the springbok is easily recognizable amid the vast expanse of the desert. The gracefully curved, supple horns add a distinctive charm and are found on both males and females. The most eye-catching thing about them is their unique movement, the way they leap high into the air, a behavior known as pronking. In an instant, a springbok suddenly kicked all four legs off the ground at once, soaring nearly 6.5 feet into the air before landing gracefully, only to repeat the dramatic movement over and over, like a theatrical dance. It may seem like just a game, but in reality, this is an extremely effective survival strategy. Distracting predators, showing off strength and agility, and at the same time warning other members of the herd about lurking dangers. Springboks usually live in large herds, where their coordinated movements serve as a vital shield, giving them a significant advantage against lurking predators. It was not just a race for survival, but also a vibrant symphony of wild nature in the heart of the harsh desert. With a population of about 100 individuals, springbok antelopes prefer open areas, where their view is unobstructed and the risk of being surprised by predators is much lower. That vast open space allows them to easily spot enemies from afar, whether it's a swift cheetah or an opportunistic hyena, and their reaction is immediate. They dash away at lightning speed, change directions smoothly, and then vanish like a ghost in the wind. But springboks don't just know how to run away. In peaceful moments, they quietly graze on fresh green grass, young leaves, and tender shoots. Especially during the prolonged dry season, they are able to absorb enough moisture directly from plants and grasses, which helps reduce their dependence on water sources. A remarkable survival strategy that allows this species to adapt exceptionally well to the arid environment of southern Africa. The breeding season marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter. The males become territorial, aggressively driving away rivals while putting on powerful displays to attract the attention of the females. After about 5 months of pregnancy, the female will quietly separate from the herd to give birth to a single calf in a secluded and safe place. In the first few days, the fawn will lie still under the low grass, perfectly hidden until it is strong enough to keep up with the herd. Although its legs are still weak, its survival instincts are remarkable. Within just a few weeks, the young animal learns to run and leap, taking its first jumps as if its body instinctively knows that agility will be its only shield throughout its life. Weighing a modest 55 to 88 pounds, the springbok is neither the largest nor the strongest animal, but it is a vivid symbol of life governed by strict rules in the harsh wilderness. They crossed vast deserts and arid valleys, always alert to every sign in the wind, the fleeting shadows, or the scattered footprints swallowed up by the sand. At dusk, as the gentle light gradually settles over the landscape, the herd of springboks moves as a single, unified being. Each member follows closely in the footsteps of the others, every step light and cautious. The young individuals strive to keep up with the adults, mimicking their movements, and learning to understand the quiet yet powerful rhythm of the desert. The springbok may not be the largest or the most aggressive animal, but it embodies adaptability, graceful, humble, and incredibly efficient. In a land where many creatures can't survive, the springbok leaps not just to escape, but to prove that even in the harshest environments, life can still be agile, powerful, and vibrantly beautiful. As the sun sets over the Namib Desert, shadows stretch out, and the day's sweltering heat gradually gives way to the cool night breeze. It is in that very moment when light meets darkness that the springbok, along with the surrounding wilderness, subtly transforms to adapt and thrive in perfect harmony with this harsh yet mesmerizing natural world. Whether it's the resilient oryx or the swift springbok, every creature in the harsh desert carries a profound lesson about perseverance and limitless adaptability. Nature doesn't need to be loud to show its strength. Every quiet step across the desert is a declaration of survival. If we learn to pause and listen, we might discover how to slow down and become more grounded amid the hustle and bustle of modern life. Are you more impressed by the circular defensive tactics of the oryx, or the powerful pro-king leaps of the springbok? Leave a comment below and join Nature Moment in discovering the incredible wonders hidden behind the beauty of the wild world. As dawn breaks over the African savanna, one of the most efficient predators awakens, the African wild dog. Their fur is a vibrant tapestry of colors, featuring shades of black, brown, light yellow, and white, with no two individuals looking exactly alike. Each of these cloaks is like a vibrant, one-of-a-kind fingerprint, allowing them to blend seamlessly into their surroundings. The African wild dog, also known as the painted hunting dog, moves with a hidden energy. Its large, dish-shaped ears constantly swivel to catch even the faintest sounds, while its bright, sharp eyes scan its surroundings. Although its body is lean, it is muscular and agile. These hunters never go alone. They exist and thrive based on the strength of the group, a unified, disciplined collective where individual interests always give way to the common good. Under the leadership of a dominant pair, African wild dogs are the most vivid example of social cooperation among terrestrial predators. Before the chase begins, the pack engages in a quiet, intimate ritual. Gentle licks, nose touches, and small, playful jumps. A rich language of signals that strengthens the bonds among its members. All right together, they began to move. With a speed so fast it's almost silent, the pack spreads out evenly across the hunting area, following a carefully calculated strategy. What makes the African wild dog dangerous isn't individual strength, but their flawless teamwork. They move in packs, surround their prey, and communicate using short whistles, each with its own distinct frequency. The prey could be an antelope, a young buffalo, or a zebra foal. The important thing isn't the type of target, but the synchronization in every step. Once the hunt begins, almost every encounter ends in victory. On open grasslands, wild dogs can reach speeds of up to 37 miles per hour, but even more impressive is their extraordinary endurance. They can run long distances continuously without getting tired. This incredible pack knows how to wear down its prey, force it into making mistakes, and keep up constant pressure. When it was time to strike, everything unfolded with surgical precision, no chaos, just absolute efficiency. After a hunt, the food isn't just for the predators. It's shared with the entire pack, including the young, the elderly, and even injured members. Top priority is always given to the little puppies. If a few members stay behind in the den, sometimes 1 or 2 adults will regurgitate meat to feed them when they return. This is a community with clear rules and a strong sense of responsibility. During the day, the herd rests in safe areas where the ground is cool and visibility is good, but they always remain alert. Keen ears constantly listen for the sounds of birds, the footsteps of herbivores, or the unusual rustling of other predators. Lions or hyenas are real threats, but direct confrontations with them are rare. African wild dogs always avoid unnecessary conflicts, choosing smart and safe paths. Reproduction is strictly controlled by the dominant alpha pair. Only the leading female is allowed to have offspring, maintaining order and social stability. African wild dogs are not only exceptional hunters, but also embody remarkable teamwork and absolute loyalty in the harsh wilderness. Their hunting stories are not just journeys in search of food, but also profound lessons about the power of unity and strategy in nature. When African wild dogs are born, often more than 10 puppies at a time, they are tenderly cared for by the entire pack. Each member of the pack shares the responsibilities of hunting and keeping watch to protect those little creatures. Puppies grow up very quickly, not only thanks to the care they receive, but also by observing, playing with, and imitating the actions of older members. Step by step, they fully integrate into the community, and once mature, they begin to run alongside the other members of the herd, conquering the vast grasslands and the scorching golden sand trails of the desert. The footprints of the pack of wild dogs usually don't last long on the ground, as the desert wind sweeps them away, erasing all traces. However, their presence is never forgotten. They play an essential role in maintaining ecological balance, controlling prey populations, and eliminating weak individuals, which ensures the overall health of the ecosystem. When night falls, they return to their den, their bodies covered in desert dust, their eyes still sharp, and the bonds within the pack stronger than ever. In the harsh world they inhabit, African wild dogs survive not because of individual strength, but because of the power of unity. As the first stars appear in the Namib desert sky, a profound silence settles over the sand dunes, as if the earth itself is slowing its breath after a long, challenging day. The temperature drops, a chilly breeze blows gently, and nocturnal creatures take center stage in the theater of life. Survival here never stops. It only changes in different forms. On this journey, we have explored a land where nothing is certain, and everything must be conquered and overcome. Where lionesses hunt silently like ghosts, herds of elephants cross ancient trails, ostriches teach their young how to survive from their very first steps. Powerful oryxes face their enemies head-on. Springboks use graceful leaps to defend themselves, and wild dogs send the message that true strength lies in unity. Namibia is a land of contrasts, untouched beauty and remarkable resilience. It is a vivid portrayal of nature, constantly under immense pressure, yet always vibrant, dynamic, adaptable and reborn with each new sunrise. If you enjoyed this journey exploring the wild heart of Africa, please like the video, subscribe to the Nature Moment channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any other fascinating stories. As night falls over the Namib Desert, a new chapter begins on the eastern savanna, where the struggle for survival never ceases, and a stealthy predator is quietly rewriting the rules of the game in the most unexpected way. Let's continue our journey and find out who holds the key to ruling this harsh land. Unlike predators that rely on brute strength, African wild dogs defeat their prey through patience and relentless endurance. The prey was chased to exhaustion by a relentless group of predators who never gave up. Nicknamed painted wolves for their distinctive mottled coats, these predators not only strike fear into other species, but also stand as symbols of the triumph of teamwork and cooperation in the harsh natural world. Despite their modest size and being somewhat smaller compared to other predators like lions or hyenas, African wild dogs are still easily overpowered when they encounter larger animals, and can even be driven away without much effort. However, their true strength lies in their large numbers and intelligent hunting strategies. Stray dogs are not lone warriors. They are collective fighters with exceptional teamwork skills. These dogs impress not only with their striking appearance, unique striped coats, cute pointed ears, and captivating behavior, but also with their intelligence and strategic hunting skill. Although not widely known, the African wild dog is currently one of the rarest and most endangered predators in the world. They are not only small in size, but also master hunters capable of taking down prey many times larger than themselves. In the vibrant ecosystems of the Serengeti and the Okavango Delta, wild dogs have perfected the art of group hunting, making them some of the most efficient predators in Africa. Even healthy adult buffaloes, and sometimes even lions, have to be wary of those sharp horns. However, that doesn't pose a challenge for wild dogs. With their endless stamina and machine-like coordination, they often single out the weakest member of the herd and exhaust their prey through sheer persistence. The secret weapon that makes African wild dogs ruthless and successful is their unity and strict discipline. They are known as the ultimate team players of the grasslands, executing coordinated hunting strategies with almost military precision. With an astonishing success rate of up to 75%, the highest among all land predators, wild dogs can be considered masters of coordinated hunting. Each member of the pack is not just a hunter, but also plays a crucial role in perfecting the overall strategy, from how they move and attack to deciding when to strike or retreat. And it is this perfect harmony that has made the African wild dog a symbol of collective strength and tactical intelligence on the vast savanna, where only the most resilient can survive. With their exceptional individual skills, remarkable discipline, and strong sense of teamwork, African wild dogs have such powerful jaws that they can crush the bones of large animals. They quickly consume their prey before larger predators like lions, hyenas, or crocodiles have a chance to show up. In the wilds of Africa, wild dogs are a formidable force that even the continent's top predators have to watch out for. Although they don't directly compete for dominance like lions or hyenas, wild dogs are renowned for their incredible endurance, a key factor that helps them survive in the harsh environment of the savanna. When hunting, they often gather in large packs, sometimes with more than 20 individuals. This collective strength allows them to successfully hunt much larger prey, such as zebras or wildebeests, animals many times their size. With their sharp eyesight and exceptional endurance, wild dogs can chase their prey for distances of up to 5 miles at speeds reaching 41 miles per hour. Unlike leopards, which only sprint for short bursts, wild dogs engage in relentless chases, exhausting their prey before finally taking it down. To hunt large prey, each member of the pack must coordinate smoothly and flawlessly. The groups take turns chasing, while the others anticipate and block escape routes, isolating the prey and overwhelming it with their superior numbers. The African wild dog pack has demonstrated incredible teamwork skills while hunting, often using smart and precise strategies to overcome their prey's defenses. They don't rely on brute strength like lions, nor do they scavenge like hyenas. Instead, their strategy is built on relentless endurance, unity, and razor-sharp instincts. Wild dogs don't take on powerful herds of buffalo head-on, because a single misstep could lead to serious injury or death. Instead, they play a patient game of chasing and encircling the herd, forcing the weakest animal to break away from the group. A young animal abandoned by its mother becomes an easy target for predators. But because their bodies aren't big enough to suffocate their prey, like lions or jaguars, their method of killing is extremely brutal. Instead of a quick death, wild dogs often begin eating their prey while it's still alive. Although harsh, this method ensures the herd gets fed quickly before other predators arrive. They don't have the strength of a lion or the speed of a cheetah, but African wild dogs possess something even more valuable: a strong sense of teamwork. This is the ultimate weapon that transforms them into an extraordinary force of predators, commanding respect even from other top hunters. They not only hunt for prey, but also survive thanks to the power of teamwork and impressive, well-coordinated strategies. In the African wilderness, African wild dogs are renowned as some of the most formidable predators, thanks to their unity and absolute discipline. Despite their small size, they strike fear into the hearts of herbivores across the vast savanna plains. Unfortunately, these fascinating creatures are facing serious threats. They once hunted in packs across Africa, but now they survive only in scattered areas due to habitat loss, conflicts with humans, and outbreaks of disease. Since then, their numbers have dropped significantly, and their current habitat has been reduced to fragmented areas, leading to increasingly dangerous encounters not only with larger predators, but also with humans themselves. The harsh climate of the African savanna forces every species to constantly struggle for survival. Under the scorching sun shining down on the endless golden grasslands, every creature lives in the shadow of lurking danger. For herbivores, survival is a daily test of endurance, while for predators, it's an endless chase. Among the most famous predators on the savanna, African wild dogs are known as master strategists when it comes to hunting. Belonging to the Canidae family, they stand out for their remarkable coordination and strong sense of teamwork. Their greatest strengths in life are discipline and unity. Unlike tigers or lions, which usually hunt alone, wild dogs live and hunt in packs, with each member playing a clear and indispensable role. The lives of stray dogs are highly organized, following a strict social hierarchy and unwavering loyalty to their pack. Every morning before going hunting, they engage in complex social rituals, such as rubbing against each other, licking, and making distinctive vocalizations to strengthen their teamwork. This deep bond enables them to overcome larger and more powerful rivals in the wild. The puppies are cared for attentively, and their mother nurtures and protects them wholeheartedly. Even when the puppies are able to eat meat, the whole pack still makes sure they get to eat first. The cycle of care and collaboration ensures that each new generation acquires survival skills that have been developed over thousands of years. However, even this unbreakable unity could not protect them from every danger. When the mother dog temporarily leaves the den to scout for her next prey, an unexpected threat appears. A shadow moves quietly through the tall grass, its mane shimmering in the sunlight. That is the male lion, the undisputed king of the savanna. In the blink of an eye, that powerful predator lunged forward and attacked with overwhelming force. Its massive foot came down on one of the stray dogs before it could react, echoing a sharp, piercing cry through the wild, untouched landscape. Moments of survival on the African savanna have never been easier. Every minute, life and death intertwine, creating a vivid picture of the relentless struggle between predator and prey, between different wild species and humans. It is through the stories of the survival skills and strong bonds within African wild dog packs that we gain a deeper understanding of the value of cooperation and the unwavering will to survive in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Even in the harshest wilderness of Africa, the savanna quietly imparts valuable lessons to humanity. The African wild dog isn't as strong as the lion or as fast as the cheetah, but it survives and thrives thanks to something simple yet profound: unity. In the herd, every individual has their own role, and no one is left behind, not even the weak young or the slow elderly members. When the whole pack hunts, they don't compete but share. They aren't alone, but move forward together. It was their close coordination and unwavering team spirit that turned them into true warriors on the fierce grassland. Looking at the way they live, we are reminded that in this competitive and unpredictable world, sometimes what determines survival isn't strength or speed, but trust, sacrifice, and the bonds that connect people to one another. A sharp roar pierced the air, but it was already too late. A wave of panic swept through the pack of stray dogs as the remaining puppies hurriedly darted through the underbrush, their small bodies moving swiftly in a desperate search for safety. However, the lion is not alone. Two other lions appear, opportunists, always on the lookout for an easy meal. Just a few moments later, the first lion approached the carcass of an antelope, the very prey that the pack of wild dogs had taken down just an hour earlier. The hard-fought victory they had just achieved has now turned into a feast for their most powerful rival. Amidst the vast wilderness of Africa, the confrontation between lions and wild dogs isn't simply about competing for prey. Lions see wild dogs as a direct threat to their territory and safety. Lion prides often try to take every opportunity to kill wild dogs in order to maintain their dominance. Meanwhile, the pack of wild dogs understood this clearly, and instead of confronting directly, which would almost certainly mean death, they sought revenge using their sharp intelligence. They waited for the moment when the dominant male lion was absent, then decided to strike back. Night fell, covering the earth in a layer of darkness. The pack of wild dogs moved with an eerily precise grace, gliding as silently as ghosts, their footsteps making no sound, their ears alert to even the faintest noise in the quiet air. Near the center of the pride, they spotted 3 lion cubs, vulnerable targets protected only by a young lion who wasn't yet strong enough. The story of the African savanna is far from over. A place where every footprint, every roar, and every life or death chase is an essential part of the wild symphony that echoes day. Not just one species, but an entire world of living creatures is working together to sustain the rhythm of life on this planet. Protecting nature is not just a responsibility, it is also how we preserve the pure beauty and precious balance of life. What part of today's journey made you think the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for joining us as we explore this amazing wild world together. Masai Mara, a wild land where nature proudly displays its breathtaking beauty while also revealing its extreme harshness. Here, the kings of the jungle, lions, and the cunning predators, leopards, move silently across the vast grasslands, hunting with unmatched speed and skill. Troops of baboons roam leisurely, not only in search of food, but also constantly stay alert for threats, like packs of wild dogs. In the sky, flocks of brilliant red quails swirled like living clouds, while hawks patiently kept watch, ready to strike at any moment. All of these elements blend together to create an endless cycle of existence, where survival and death are separated by nothing more than a fragile breath. Where are you watching this video from? Leave a greeting in the comments, and let's connect with nature lovers from all around the world. Dawn breaks over the Masai Mara, marking the beginning of an endless cycle of life and death. The gentle morning sunlight softly blankets the vast meadow, where dewdrops still glisten, creating a magical scene that seems like it belongs only in a painting. But behind that peaceful appearance, life is always moving swiftly, turning endlessly in the harsh cycle of birth and death. On a high cliff, the lion family begins their day. The pride leader, a muscular male lion with a sleek black mane, silently watched over the grasslands below. 3 lionesses, after a long night of patrolling their territory, are resting. Not far from there, 4 playful lion cubs were frolicking in the bushes. The deep roar of the male lion echoed as a reminder, prompting the little ones to stop playing and snuggle obediently next to their mother. Today is a big day. The whole pack has to hunt to make up for 2 days of hunger. The sound of hungry stomachs began to rumble, calling for the whole pack to join forces. As the sun rises higher, one of the fiercest lionesses begins sniffing the air for signs of prey. The herds of zebras were too far away. The flocks of guinea fowl moved in such large, tight groups that they were hard to approach, and the massive buffalo lurking nearby were simply too dangerous to risk. But then, in the distance, a group of wild boars grazing under a low bush caught my eye. The whole pack immediately tensed up, their sharp eyes fixed on the prey. Wild boars are not easily caught. They are agile, aggressive, and possess sharp tusks that can inflict serious injuries if the lion is careless. But this is a golden opportunity to secure a meal for the whole flock. The auditorium echoed with applause as the sun slowly set over the Masai Mara. The lion's roar echoed through the wind, proclaiming yet another victory for the ruler of this land. But hidden deep in the darkness of a cave, the young wild boars continue to survive, preparing for a new day and the ongoing journey on the harsh stage of life and death.